So let's fast forward to 2020. George Floyd is murdered by the Minneapolis Police Department. Um, what are your thoughts with the riots and the protests? Did it feel like Rodney King all over again? In regards to the reaction,
Yeah.
even though it was it was different. The situation was a little different.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's hear your experience.
I would, personally, let's face it, that the Rodney King situation was terrible, and it was terrible when you saw it. You knew that was ridiculous, and you were an officer, and you knew that there was no way in the world that these officers should be beaten on this man like this. And then now, 20, all these years later, I got to sit here and watch a black man who could be any one of my cousins, any one of my friends, could have been me, killed while people sat there and watched, knowing that this guy was doing everything he could do to apply pressure on this black man's neck. He angled himself appropriately to cut off this man's wind and to do what he ultimately did, and that was kill that guy, and to see that, in broad daylight on TV was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen, honestly. I mean, it broke my heart to see that man suffer like that. It was in the same vein as Alton Sterling, the gentleman that said he couldn't breathe time and time again. He said, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Me being a larger man, I understand that. Sometimes it's hard as hell to breathe when you're even just laying on your stomach. But to have 3 or 4 people on your back and knowing that, how difficult it is to breathe, and to have these guys on this man's back like that, it broke my heart. I couldn't deal with it. You know what I mean? So it was the same thing with George Floyd. Like, where's the love? Where's the compassion and respect for mankind to where you can just not care if a person lives or dies because of the things that you do, So it just reflects back to so many terrible incidences, year in and year out, of things that happen to us. We never see things like this happen to them, but we always the ones that suffer at the hands of that hate. You know what I mean? And it was terrible, man. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen.